Hey, y'all. Welcome to Cosmic Kiss. I hope this finds you in a positive space, in a positive place. I'm trying something different today again. I'm going to actually share my week ahead spread. I normally just do it for like myself, but necessarily in general, because I just asked for the energies about. But I threw this spread earlier. And I don't know about y'all, but I have been extremely sleepy, tired, needing to rest a lot here lately, especially this week. And with that said, like my nighttime dreams, my daydreams, and my daytime dreams have been so vivid. And so 4 hours later, here I am to deliver the message. All right, so the cards in the middle are our themes, or the weekly themes. I normally pull one card, but God's protection and presence caught my eye, so I pulled that one, and then two, as I shuffled the deck, two more fell out. So Nyame Dua is God's presence and protection, and this card talks about the need to have, well, first off, that the divine is always with you. Let's get that off the bat. The divine is with you, around you, about you, omnipresent. But this card speaks about having an altar in your home or on your compound, specifically in this culture, in the culture that the Ndinka symbols come from, having an altar in the front of your compound, almost like a welcome mat for spirit. Now, what I got from that is that you could have an actual altar inside your home. You can have an altar outside your home. But what I know is that when there's no materials, you don't have enough funds to have all your candles and have all your incense and have all your herbs, baby, you are the physical altar. So what I got from that is your energy precedes you. That's one of my favorite things I always say. Your energy walks into a space before you ever do. So just make sure that your energy precedes you in the fact that, or in the essence that, God or the divine is walking into a room before you, or God's presence with you is walking into a space before you do. The next card is Inye Ope Se Obede Hine. Now, forgive me if I'm pronouncing them incorrectly, but I have a thing for indigenous tongues. This card means service and leadership, and that in order to be a leader, you have to first know how to serve. And I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Or for those who need some explanation or could use some explanation, another spin I got on that is that a lot of us, it's not that we want to be a leader, but we might be called into a position of leadership, but we're so used to being in a position of servitude because it is in our nature. So this is just what I've been getting here lately is prepare your mind, prepare mentally for, what's to come, the changes to come. So maybe preparing your mind from going to service to leadership, or for those who desire leadership, remember to be in a spirit of servitude. Our third weekly theme is the power of love and devotion. And this one, I kept hearing Jaheim's trying to find my way back to you, because the power of love always finds its way home. So anything where we feel like love was lost, and it was genuine love, not codependent love, not infatuation, obsessive, based in or rooted in I wouldn't say lower vibrational, but from spaces of needing to heal type of love, that love is going to find its way back to you. So there's no need to worry. All right, so let's jump into the week ahead. So we have since today is Sunday, I'm recording this on a Sunday. Monday is Oshun. Oshun's up there, and Oshun is the goddess of the deity in the Orisha pantheon, who symbolizes fertility, abundance, prosperity, honey, money, all things sweet. But if you notice, she's just in a very receiving mode. And so what I got from this is that she's embodying very much Empress energy. She is the embodiment of Empress energy. And so that Monday is going to be a day to kind of focus on your Empress energy. And the crazy part is I usually look at the celestial alignments to kind of back up the intuitive notes that I have. But you can all do your own astrological transit look up, and I'm not going to promise that. I'm just go ahead and stop there. I'm not going to even promise that. Bum. She's embodying the Empress energy. So the celestial bodies that usually correlate with that energy is Venus. So maybe Venus might be busy, or there might be a Venus conjunction there, or a Venus aspect to look at on Monday. But just embodying that energy to receive. working smarter mentally and energetically and not harder physically, is what I'm getting from that. Let the blessings come to you. Let the blessings, she's surrounded by abundance, flowing water. She has fish at her feet. She has milk and honey at her presence. She's adorned in jewelry. So, you know, embodying the self-love energy as well. For Tuesday, we have the Three of Water, and what I wrote down was celebration, a joyous celebration. But I always think of like the Holy Trinity in this, in the essence, not of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, but the Father, Son, and the Mother, the family unit, but the spiritual family unit, or because a lot of these phrases like the divine feminine, divine masculine, or big mama energy or big papa energy are all embodied within us. Even the child energy, that's the inner child. The father is our discipline, our structure, that's the emperor energy. And the mother, that's the empress energy. And everybody, divine masculine and divine feminine, however you identify or whichever energy you're in, we all embody these energies. So what I get from this is like a union. It's a party. Like these, sometimes we tend to operate more in one than the other. So what I'm getting from this is like a Holy Trinity. And with that Neptune symbol there, it's definitely giving spirituality. It's definitely giving Piscean, since it's the fish, Piscean mode. So that's dreams, that's illusions, that's the spirit, that's spiritual depth, that's spiritual practice. There's a spiritual union happening here with either three people, three elements within you. There's a harmony, but it's something that's cause for celebration. And then we have the fire element. And when I threw the week ahead spread last week, the fire element also fell for Wednesday, which I thought is interesting because Wednesday is is Mercury Day. And that's the day of communication. That's the day of getting the message out. That's the day of speaking and communicating. So like I did last week, I wrote down more fire, more fire, more fire, like spicy communication, you know. But in this, for this fire element this week and also for last week, I just got that purgatory energy, just a continuing purge. So it might be a day of communication, but more so an internal communication, maybe not with anyone outside of yourself, but with yourself, journaling, talking out loud to yourself. You know, it's just you. Who gonna judge you but you? You know, talking to yourself and talking yourself through energies, mindsets, perceptions, habits that we're still purging or getting ready to purge. And then I also wrote down, because you know you have Aries, Leo, and Sag are our fire elements. I wrote down Sag is the next season, is the next fire season. So maybe something that is purged in this season, we're going to see the results of, or if whatever cycle we're wrapping up by purging this last little bit in this season, we're going to see some of that in Sag season. But I also heard clear as day Aries moon. So I believe the next full moon is actually an Aries full moon. And that would make sense because we're in Libra season and that's the sister sign. So I wrote down Aries moon. All right, go off, spirit. So whatever you're releasing now, make way to clear, because Aries is the energy of action, honey. Let's get it. And with this new moon energy that we're embodying tonight on the 25th, you would think that because all moons are not equal, all full moons and all new moons are not equal, especially the sign, the energy that's about. We have a lot of planets in retrograde. So even though we're doing a lot of purging, which you would normally do on a new moon as it starts to wane afterwards, with this new moon, maybe we're shining light on the things that we've purged and the progress. I know I said that Tuesday was a celebration, but maybe that spiritual union has to do with you celebrating the milestones and the things that you've purged thus far, you know. And with the Aries new moon, with the Aries full moon coming up, maybe there's a possibility to see some of this fruition, or see some things come into fruition between now, this new moon, and the next full moon. All right, this card is, you can't really see it, but it's the enslaved person, also known as the hangman. And what I got is, per usual, transition, but be still. I know he's chained up, but sometimes we feel like being forced or asked to be still when our mind is going 1,000 miles a minute is it's like a being chained or restrained. But what I'm getting from this, what I got from this, is be still, listen. Be still to listen. Be still to get clarity on the things that your mind is going 1,000 miles a minute on. And I also got, ironically, before I even threw the next card, was the calm before the storm. And then, as you can see, the village. The village is also the tower card. And the fact that I said that this is the calm before the storm, ironically, around that time of the week, I'm here in Florida. There is a big storm that is coming. Ian's making his way here, but I think everything that happened, let me go ahead and backtrack on that. I know that everything that happens in the physical definitely happens in the spiritual first. And I've been throwing, I don't know if you caught any of my my shorts, but I've been throwing cards about change, winds of change, winds of change, winds of change. Shoot, the card that I threw for today was literally Oya, who's the winds of change. I threw her today. As my overall energy for the day, and the winds of change. But everybody's running amok, and I recently had a dream. Everybody's running amok in this village card, and I recently had a dream, like within the past 2 weeks, that I was in this house that I currently live in, but that the roof got snatched off this thing with by a tornado. And tornadoes aren't really a big thing in Tallahassee for some reason, but I know that in recent hurricanes that we've had some ones that were forming over certain parts of the city that just snap power lines like they were twigs. Now, I know that sounds kind of scary, but for me, I try to embody a fearlessness. That's not that fear doors will come and knock at my door, but I embody a fearlessness. And because I throw different kinds of spreads, I did a year ahead spread, and ironically, September was the village card, and I've been waiting for this tower moment all month long. At the beginning of the month, it was full of anxiety, but right now I'm like peaceful. But then it's like, oh, the calm before the storm. Like, it's literally boiling down to the last week of September because my landlord just came. I have to move. He's getting ready to sell my triplex, so I'm gonna have to relocate, which was actually the tower moment that I was predicting, but I thought it was gonna pan out differently. But I feel like this storm, what I wrote down for the storm of change, is that a storm's coming, but there's guidance with these winds to rise above the storm, as Oya does in the card. I'm getting ready to show it to you. And that change, redirection, is within these storm winds. And that storm winds also, they bring the air from other places, and sometimes they bring diseases and sickness from whatever places they've come from, or they also bring about a freshness. And what I wrote down is a fresh air and a clear path. So I don't know how trippy, and this is the Oya card, Oya Yansa. And as you can see, I wrote rise above the storm for that reason. But she's the deity of lightning and storm winds, tornadoes, and hurricanes, which we'll be getting this week. So I thought that was interesting. So even though it's happening here in Florida, there might be a storm of sorts in other places, in other spaces, that this could resonate or will resonate for you. And Friday's card, the next card, is the Two of Earth. And for the Two of Earth, which is the Two of Pentacles. Oh, goodness, sorry. Sorry, hiccup. All right. I wrote down, because Earth is the sister sign. Any earth sign, their sister sign is a water sign, So I wrote that one of the pentacles is an earth energy, and I wrote down the first pentacle is of a water energy, and the second pentacle is of an earth energy. And I wrote two sides to the same coin, a balance of the physical and spiritual, an emphasis though on the physical with that Capricorn influence, making things happen in the physical. But also, when you have the number 2, sometimes in the tarot, it means there's a choice. And so I wrote, choose what physical needs to be let go to balance the spiritual, or vice versa. Not necessarily what spiritual things I need to adopt to balance the physical. Let's marinate on that. And then the card, the Two of Earth card in this Orisha deck, this actually means a figure that's aloof. It's a mystical creature. in Africa that is believed to live on land and water and have mystical power. So I thought that was interesting, and that's what I picked up. And then for Sunday's card at the top of the hour is the air element. And air is direct communication with spirit. It's literally spiritual messages. The Aquarius, the Libra, the Gemini, but this is mental energy. So what I wrote down is crown downloads, messages from spirit, and then the fact that we're in Libra season, we might be getting some heavy downloads, heavy crown messages. Crown might be tingling. I know mine was yesterday. And that air also feeds fire. Since we have fire there on Wednesday and we have air here on Sunday, it's almost like the flame, the purgatory flame is going out. So air feeds the fire, but it's in the reverse. So fire is purging, which means purge meets fuel, which is air, spiritual guidance. So this purge is going to continue, but you're going to get spiritual guidance through those downloads, and you'll come out with what I said was a sense of knowing. So what I'm getting from that is a lot of mental clarity is going to find us at the end of the week, at the end of this week and the top of next week. Well, that is my message for y'all this evening. I'm glad you can join me. If you'd like to support the channel, there's details in the description, and I hope to see you soon.